Hi, my name is Paul Sargent, and today we're going to take a look at parliamentary systems of government. Now, here in the United States, we're used to a presidential system which has clearly divided powers between an executive, legislative, and judicial branch. I've covered that in a previous video. In a parliamentary system, things are a little bit less divided, because in a parliamentary system, the legislature is voted on by the people. People vote for members of parliament, and those members then come together in parliament and they choose the executive, who's often called the prime minister. And the prime minister will be the leader of the majority party. If for some reason you have lots of parties in a country, then the prime minister will tend to be the leader of the largest party, who's also formed what's called a coalition with smaller parties. In other words, they agree to act and vote together. That prime minister then selects a cabinet, people who are in charge of different parts of the government, from within his party, within this legislature. And the job of the cabinet is to propose laws to the legislature, which they will vote on. And you can imagine then, if the cabinet, the legislature, and the prime minister are all of the same party, that party's agenda, the things they want to see done in society, get done pretty quickly. Now, this is good in terms of effectiveness, because what the majority party wants to get done gets done awfully quickly. But the problem is that minority views are very hard to get past. If a party finds itself in the minority, they really have to sit back and just be bystanders for a while, maybe calling out the majority party in the press and whatnot, but effectively they don't have any power, and they're not going to get much passed unless it's just a really, really good idea that the majority party goes along with. Another characteristic of a parliamentary government is that it tends to open itself up to more than one party. Here in the United States, we really only have two effective parties, the Republicans and the Democrats, because we work on a winner-take-all system. In any given election, there's an individual who will win for that election. And because the Republicans and the Democrats have most of the votes, it's going to be, in most cases, one of those two candidates. However, in a parliamentary system, even very small parties have a way to get a very small representation in the parliament. They can then side with larger parties and thus have a voice and give a voice to people who support things which are outside the bounds of the two main parties. Now, the downside of this are coalitions. And with coalitions, you have parties who come together for a specific purpose, to create a majority.